Hello, Rambler fans. We are at the Highland Conference matchup, crosstown rivalry of the McBain Ramblers and the NMC Comets. I am Isabel Roosevelt, and I am joined by
Calix Austin. So the JV game, that was pretty back and forth. McBain was able to stay ahead with the 10 points by the end of that. I'm looking forward to see how this varsity does. Now, one thing I have noticed is that a lot of the NMC players have been pulled up to the varsity level because the varsity players have, the varsity is a very small team.
yes. I mean, they don't even have a girls' varsity for lack of players, so it's a lot of hauling up. But, I mean, young players, lots to live up to. They're going to be aggressive, and they're going to...
Yeah.
It could go both ways. They would either take more risks or maybe not quite as many just because of fear and not having that, like, basketball IQ as much as, like, their senior teammates would, seeing as they haven't seen that much, much court time.
One thing to look out for, Darius Van Nord. He was very aggressive last game during JV, but he was also a lead scorer, along with Alden Winkle, number 14. Alden Winkle was the tallest guy on that JV team. Him and Van Nord are two lead scorers, and Van Nord's a very aggressive player, something just to look out for.
So, yeah, with that, I think we're going to get started here very soon. We have less than 35 seconds on the clock.
We will see you back here in just a minute.
Please remain standing for the national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, the Stars Bank Choir. Here are tonight's starting lineups. First for our guests, the Ramblers of McBain.
Rukrembo, sophomore, number 2, guard.
Colton Haverkamp, junior, 3, guard.
Drew Hamilton, junior, number 5, forward.
Grayson Guernsey, junior, number 10, center.
Brenton Brunick, junior, number 12, forward.
Brett Ewing, senior, 20, forward.
Clayton Hooker, sophomore, number 22, center.
That goes up and then went in through 2 arms, so it's a foul on the shot.
They're just setting it up so they can get those fouls, so they can get these free throws in.
Makes his first, misses his second. It's rebounded by Gvidon. Passed over to Dazoo. We got Boss out at the side. Shooting the really long 3. No good. Rebounded by Vilwalk.
That was a close one.
Out of bounds. It was a close one. He was a decent amount behind that 3-point line, pretty much to the out of bounds line, and he still took that shot. And it was close for how far it was.
Only short for about like an inch.
Yeah. Ramblers once again setting up their offense. Finds Hooker on the inside. He's work in the paint. Goes up for 2, and it's good. That's the thing about your post players. If you know that they're like outmatching the person that's guarding them, you just get them the ball, and they'll make the offense happen. Kicks it out to Boss in the corner. Boss for 3. No good. Rebounded by Rodenball. Rodenball's going to take off down the court. 1-on-2, goes up for the 2, and it's good.
I'm seeing a lot of threes from NMC. They're just either too far out or just short.
Dazoo, I believe, has the ball. Passes into Winkle. Stolen, knocked away by Brett Ealing. Given over to Rodenball. Up to Aiden Cucci for the easy 2.
9-0 right now.
Gvidon taking it up this time for the Comets, setting up their offense. Ramblers really just doing a good job of getting down the floor and creating offenses. And it seems like we've got that fast play going for the Comets, where they're kind of just throwing the ball around without a really purpose for it. Or taking the first shot that they get, where it might not be the best shot, but it's a shot that they have, so they take it.
They're just attempting it to see if they could possibly do something with it.
There was a foul called. It was on Brett Ealing, his first, team's first. Comets get it inbounded, set up an offense. We got Vilwalk inside the paint, looking to post up. Finds Gvidon out at the 3. He's going to drive in the middle. Vilwalk for the long 2. That one falls. First 2 points for the Comets on the night.
9-2 right now with 4:45 left in the first.
Rodenbaugh sets up the offense, finds Hooker. Really trying to make it work. The Comets are tight to their players. They lose Haverkamp, though, and he gets an easy 2.
McBain seems to have a decent height advantage over most of these NMC players.
Yes, they do. And with that 9-point lead, the Comets will call a timeout.
All right, and we are back.
Seeing as the Comets called the timeout, it's their ball coming out.
11-2, 4:30 left in the first.
We've got Blair Dazoo over to Boss, way out there. Is he going to shoot that 3 this time? Nope. Knocked away by Ealing once again, given to Rodenball. Once again up to Aiden for the 2, and it's good. That was a slight deja vu moment right there. I believe we saw that just a couple seconds ago.
I do believe you're right.
Rodenball, or Ealing with the block pass over to Rodenball, who passes it up to Cucci for the fast break. Seems to be working pretty well for the Ramblers. We've got Colton Haverkamp lose his footing. Still kept his dribble though and was able to stand back up. Rodenball sets up that offense. We've got Ramblers passing, cutting, setting screens all over the place, just trying to get a man open.
Almost impossible to keep up with what's happening.
Ealing up to Haverkamp. Haverkamp's going to go up for 2. Falls down. Hooker with the rebound over top of 2 NMC people, but because he didn't make contact, there was no over the back call. So he got that rebound and the 2.
Now with Haverkamp, when he went down but kept his dribble, I think that's really important, and a lot of players should try to do that because then you have less of a chance of losing the ball.
I believe that's Emmett Boss for the 3.
15-5. Comets slowly chipping away at this lead that the Ramblers have.
Pass down low to Ealing. Ealing sidesteps his defender, goes up for 2.
17-5 now.
Some of the Comets players want that to be called a travel. Really, he just pump faked and stepped around his defender. Blair to Zoo, they're going to get with a carry. Subs in. That is Pluger coming in for Winkle.
And with that sidestep, he only did really take 1 step, and I do believe you need to take 3 for it to be considered a travel.
You can take 2, but your final one has to really just be like you're going up. Once your pivot foot comes up, then it's travel, unless you're shooting. We've got Hooker in the corner for the Ramblers. Coochie for 3. No good. Rebounded by Vilwalk. Dazoo on the fast run up. Sets up the offense. Bowden drives in. No good. Off the side of the backboard. Rebounded by Ealing up to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh to Hooker this time. Little too much on it, and it goes out of bounds. Thought he was going to grab that for a second, but kind of bounced around in his hands before sailing over to the wall.
Another thing I've noticed is that when we pass, sometimes we overpass it. Put a little too much force into it. And it
Get
just
a little too much adrenaline pumping.
Yeah, just overshoots your target.
It's all right to be excited, just don't get too excited.
Yeah.
Attempted 3 by the Comets is no good. Rebounded by one of the Ramblers, given up to Rodenbaugh. To Haverkamp, up top to Ealing. It's going to go over to Coochie. Coochie's going to drive in that lane, goes up for 2, is fouled on the way up. He will go to the line for 2.
I think that was rebounded by Brett Ealing down at the other side of the court.
I think so, too.
I'm not 100% sure, but that's what I saw.
That foul is called on 21, Boss, his second, team's 3rd. 2 fouls in the first quarter. That's kind of not where you want to be sitting.
NMC has just been aggressive all night.
Number 20, Corral in for Boss.
18-5.
Coochie, no good. Ball is tossed around. Coochie ends up with a rebound, up for the long, too. That's good.
25.
15. 20 minus 5 is 15.
Yeah.
Okay. Pluger's shot no good. Rebounded by Coochie. Coochie's going to take off. Passes down to little Rodenbaugh, up to big Rodenbaugh. I'm sorry if that offends them. I have no other way to tell them apart. One speaking. Down low to big Rodenbaugh. Up for 2. And it's good.
I don't blame you. I'm like, when it's action-packed and it's non-stop,
Little Rodenbaugh, big Rodenbaugh. That's just how it's going to be. It's stuck now.
nothing you can do about it.
Bowden up top. Trying to drive in the lane. Gets double teamed in the corner. We got Pluger now with it. Gives it up to Dazoo. Dazoo down low to Pluger. That's going to be a foul. Pretty sure Brett Ealing lost his footing there. Yep, foul was called on Brett Ealing. He lost his footing, kind of fell into Pluger's backside. Subs in for the Ramblers, number 5, Drew Hamilton, and number 32, Kaysen Pollington for Aiden Coochie and Brett Ealing.
And with Ealing's foul, there's really nothing you can do there. Like, once you start falling.
This is just where momentum takes you.
Yeah.
Bowden for 3.
A little too far on that one.
Ooh. Hooker tried for that rebound and kind of just swatted it out of bounds.
I think he may have just been a little too high up on it. And just like, it got the bottom of his palm and he couldn't quite wrap around it.
Passed out to Bowden. He's in the corner. Loses, gives it up to Vilwalk. Vilwalk up for 2. 2's no good. Rebounded by Hooker over to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh's going to set up that offense once again.
24 seconds left in the first. 22-5 right now. McBain with a considerable lead.
Little Rodenbaugh. Down low to Hooker. Hooker double teamed heavily.
Ooh.
That's a foul and a half.
Hooker sent down.
Yeah. Foul is called on 24 Vilwalk. His first team's 4. 11.9. See, 4 team fouls at this point in the quarter doesn't really matter. If you had 4 and there was like a minute or so left.
Yeah, but there's 12 seconds.
Yeah, that's not a big deal.
It's kind of like what happened at the very end of the JV game. A player got 5 fouls and they had to leave, but 30 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah.
Not really.
Corral with that rebound goes to Bowden. Ooh, 5 seconds. Bowden out to Pluger. Over to Dazoo.
2 seconds.
Got to get a shot off. Dazoo shoots it. No good.
A little short.
And that is the end of the first quarter.
Wow. 23-5. I don't really have much to say about this.
Other than it's just a fast offensive game and lots of physicality.
Yeah. We'll see you back after this break.
McLain Transmission and Auto Sales. Transmission repair and vehicle sales in Northern Michigan. Locally owned and operated. Being a member of the community means that we take pride in the work that we do for our neighbors. You can expect honest and expert service from us. Every repair, every sale, every time. Servicing Cadillac, Lake City, Manton, Mesick, Big Rapids, Traverse City, and surrounding areas. Located on 2730 South LaChance Road, Lake City, Michigan. Call us at 231-779-1394 or check out our website at McLainTransmission.com.
We are back, and what are your predictions for this game?
More physicality, and it's just going to be a fast game. I think that's how it's been. Both these teams are running. I mean, Ramblers are slowing down their offense, but that doesn't make their offense slow. And the Comets are really running down the floor, passing it around, looking for the first shot that they can get. So that's a pretty fast offense right there, and there's just a lot happening in the span of a second.
And I can see how our offense is getting tired. We've put up a lot, and we have done a lot within the first quarter alone.
Comets start out with that ball. They've got their offense running already. We have, I think that's Winkle underneath. Goes for the hook shot underneath the rim, doesn't quite get it there. It's rebounded by Brunick. Little Rodenbaugh is going to take it up. Well, I can just say Rodenbaugh now. Big Rodenbaugh is not out there. We've got Hamilton, Rodenbaugh, Brunick. Think a moving screen. Green 32, yep, I think we're going to get either a push off of their defender or a moving screen.
It looked more like a push.
So probably the push off the defender to try and create some space.
Yeah. I think he just stuck his elbow out there and kind of just gave him a little shove.
Just a little. We've got Boss in the corner, going to shoot that three as soon as he's open. We've got Case and Pollington with that rebound. Rodenbaugh is going to take it up.
Overshot that three.
Just a little.
Still pretty close, though.
Pollington. Brunick. Over to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh's going to bring it up to the top, give it over to Maloney. Maloney's going to fake that three. Winkle's going to jump right into him. Sold that one. Pollington, Brunick. Maloney going back door. Finds Hamilton. Hamilton almost loses that. Gives it up to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh setting up a different play, trying something new. Hamilton to Pollington. Pollington's going to pop three. Three's no good. Rebounded by Winkle.
So close.
To Bowden. Bowden's playing 1-on-3 right now.
Ooh.
He's going to take out Pollington. Pollington's going to pass it up to Hamilton. Hamilton's going to get it knocked away. Going to end up with Brunick. Brunick's going to slow it down. Give it up to Rodenbaugh. Good choice by Brunick there. Saw he was outnumbered, so he just stopped where he was at and found his point guard.
And just a minute ago with Case, that's what I was talking about. Hold it to ball even when you're going down. Just keep a hold of it. Try to just not let them get it.
Rambler ball, timeout. Full timeout.
We'll see you after this break.
Welcome to Twisted Cow, a culinary journey you won't forget. Now serving food all year round. From our signature roll and wrap to our daily special, every bite celebrates flavor and tradition. Whether you're dining in with friends or grabbing a quick bite, we have something for everyone. Look us up on any browser at Twisted Cow to see our hours, location, and number to call in and order. Or dine with us at 123 Roland Street, McBain, Michigan.
When you think of maple syrup, you think a nice plate of pancakes. But what if we told you that maple syrup can be so much more? Highland Hills maple syrup. Take the ordinary and make it extraordinary.
Alrighty, and we are back. 6:05 left in the half. 23-5 right now.
Yeah. I believe it's Rambler ball, seeing as they called the timeout. Bruce probably calling that to try to get them to set up an offense that'll actually work for them. Pellington to Rodenbaugh to Haverkamp to Thomas Maloney, down low to Brunick. Brunick up for 2. See, that timeout did something. They got an easy 2 right after that.
Yeah, they were able to do something with that. 25-5. NMC down by 20 right now.
Bowden acting like he's driving in the lane, goes back out to the corner and shoots the 3. It's no good. Rebounded by Winkle. Gives it out to Vilwalk. Dazoo. Boss. Bowden. Gonna drive in, pop the long 2. No good. Rebounded by Rodenbaugh. He's gonna take off. Gives it up to Pollington, back to Rodenbaugh. Ball's knocked away. It's gonna stay with the Ramblers.
5:21 left in the half. What was that, like? It took him like 5 seconds to get another shot put up?
Pretty much. Rodenbaugh down low to Brunick. Brunick's gonna try to pass to Hamilton. They're gonna get a kick called, I believe, because it kind of bounced off somebody's foot. Rodenbaugh takes it out, gives it up to Brunick. Brunick's gonna go up for 2, gets blocked, ends up back in Rodenbaugh's hands. They kind of lost sight of the person that was inbounding. Always keep track of the person inbounding, because if you don't, something like that happens.
It looked like it was about to go out, and then it just got shoved into Rodenbaugh's hands.
Case and Pellington trying to draw the charge, but they're going to get a block. So we have Blair Dazoo going to the line for 2. That would be Pellington's second, team's second of the quarter.
Didn't really work out the way Pellington was hoping it would.
I mean, always got to leave it up to chance, see what happens.
Yeah.
Try to go against the odds.
Sometimes they'll be in your favor, sometimes they just won't.
Depends on how much your feet are moving when that contact is made. Free throw is missed. Rebounded by Brunick, giving up to Rodenbaugh.
They didn't make that first one, though.
Pass down long to Maloney. He goes out of bounds, tries to pass it back in, goes to Dazoo. Dazoo's going to try and take on the Rambler defenders he has. Passes long out to Boss. Boss is going to bring it back up top. Popping the 3. 3's no good. Rebounded by Rodenbaugh.
I guess Maloney was a bit hungry. He almost flew into the concessions.
Looking for a halftime snack to eat in the locker room.
Yep.
Bowden in the corner. We got Case and Pollington with the steal. He's going to give it up to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh's going to try and go up for 2. He loses the ball off his foot. Tries to save it and goes sailing out of bounds.
At least he tried.
I think it bounced off or rolled off his foot there, and in an attempt to save it, he rolled on the ground and rolled on the line.
Kind of just went with the ball.
Be one with the ball.
Exactly.
Pluger down low. Up for 2. 2's no good. Rebounded by Rodenbaugh. Passes up long to Brunick.
4:10 left in the half.
Brunick jump stops, goes up for 2. Just jump stop when you're on those fast breaks, just like Brunick just did. If you fast break, you lose your defenders, and then you just got a wide open 2. Dazoo in the corner. Up to Boss. To Bowden. Up for 3. 3 falls.
It has been a minute since they've scored.
Just a hot second.
9-29, down by 20.
Maloney to Brunick. Brunick's up top. Gives it up to Rodenbaugh for the 3. 3's no good. Rebounded long, not long. Boss had it, got knocked into a little bit and lost his grip on it.
I suppose the ball's also hungry.
Yeah.
Everybody's just flocking to that concession stand.
I think it's the bake sale going on.
Honestly, probably.
The extra baked goods. I'm
Yep.
thinking it's the cookies.
Those cookies were good. We had one earlier before the game.
Pluger down low, fighting 2 defenders. Bowden for 3. No good. We're going to get a foul called on Pluger. Kind of behind his person, runs into his backside. If you're behind your person, you can't try to go through him. That's not how that works. Can't quite go through a person.
Unless you're Casper.
Maloney. Brunick. Brunick's going to pop the 3. 3's no good. Rebounded by Rodenbaugh. Going to go up for 2. That's good.
3:10 left in the half, 31-9.
Good work by Hamilton there, sealing off the other defenders so that way there was nobody to contest Rodenbaugh.
Yeah.
Dazoo up top. Finds Bass. Driving in. He's going to go up for two. Two's no good. Rebounded by Rodenbaugh. Maybe I should call him Fluffy Hair. Seeing as his hair is like floofing around as he's running down the court.
I think Little Rodenbaugh is better than that.
Probably a little.
Thomas for 3.
That was almost a foul. Who's calling a timeout? Oh, Carey. My bad. I didn't see that ref. He kind of blended in with their student section over there. Didn't know who exactly blew their whistle at first.
That happened to me during the JV game. They blew their whistle, and I was so confused as to why and to where.
They just blend in. The bleachers are black, and then half of that student section's wearing white, so they just kind of blend in down there.
Throw a ref into the mix.
Rambler ball. We got Rodenbaugh. Gives it up to Brunick. A little bit of a scramble. And it's sent out of bounds by the Zoo. So it's going to stay with the Ramblers. Got to make good passes, good strong passes. Lots of subs coming in for the Ramblers. Grayson Guernsey. We had Skylar Franklin just come in.
No, I didn't see him come in for a minute.
Rodenbaugh in the corner, down low to Brunick. Brunick's fighting 2 defenders. Gives it up to Pollington. Pollington hands off to Rodenbaugh. Gonna bring it around, tipped away by Dazoo. Blair Dazoo with the steal is gonna go up for 2. Two's good.
And it's good. 11-31 right now. Down by 20 still. 2 minutes left in the half.
Rodenbaugh to Franklin. Gives it up to Guernsey. Pluger with the steal. Passes up to Vilwalk. Vilwalk's gonna pass it back to Bowden. To Boss in the corner. Boss is gonna drive in. Fights around defenders. No call there, that's surprising. Franklin, down low to Guernsey. Guernsey up for 2, 2's no good. Rebounded by Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh goes up for 2 and it's good. Dazoo to Pluger. Rips it through, tries to pass to Boss. It's deflected by Hamilton. Subs coming in. It looks like that's Brunick coming in for Hamilton and Corral coming in for Pluger.
I'm starting to see the NMC offense pushing a little more now.
Mm-hmm.
They're putting up some more points, and they're just pushing harder and harder.
Vilwalk in. Goes back to Boss to Dazoo. Corral out at 3. Gives it to Bowden. Pollington loses his footing. Kind of tripped up by, I think, his own teammate. Knew his team was going to get that rebound, so he takes off, and he's up there for the fast break. Misses. Gets it. Brunick with a rebound. He's going to go up, gets hammered. He's going to get to go to the line.
1:04 left in the half, 33-11.
Foul is called on number 20, Corral, his first, team second. Both teams with 2 team fouls. Keeping the fouls to a minimum, really. I mean, there's more that could definitely be called, but...
Yeah, they're keeping it down more this quarter than they were last quarter.
Refs really just letting them play.
First shot's up and good, 34-11.
Second shot's up in the air. That one's also good.
1:02 left in the half.
Dazoo, he's going to drive in. Takes it all the way. That
And
lane
it's
really
up.
just opened up for him.
Wow. 13:35 right now.
Mm-hmm. Franklin down low to Brunick. Gives it up top to Guernsey. Guernsey gives it over to Pollington. Brunick. Brunick's going to drive in the lane, kicks it out to Guernsey. Gives it to Franklin.
30 seconds left.
Josh Rodenbaugh just taking it back out to try and set up another play. Different play this time. We got Pollington. Ooh, Guernsey outside.
He could get away with just holding on to it or not. Goes for the
Rodenbaugh
3.
shoots that 3.
38-13 going into the half, most likely.
Dazoo was really trying hard to fight through people, but with all the screens and the extra bodies, it was a little hard to squeeze past people. Dazoo, baseline gives it to Bowden. Boss for the 3. His 3 falls.
Wow.
3 for 3. I mean, return a 3 for a 3.
16:38 going into the half, and the ball's in the concession stand again.
Once again.
It is hungry.
All right. And with that, going into halftime, our score is your McBain Ramblers 38, NMC Comet 16. See you on the other side.
And real quick, it is time to show your support for the McBain student athletes in And this year, you can do it with a little football fun and Rambler spirit. Get in on the action by purchasing your Super Bowl squares today. Not only do you get a chance to win big during the big game, but all proceeds go directly to support our student athletes. Plus, don't forget to check out the Rambler Gear Store, open all year long. Show off your McBain pride with some awesome gear, and all of it helps to fund our athletes. Now, we will be right back after this break.
Hello, Rambler fans. I'm Isabel, and I'm joined by...
Dale Ferdine.
Good morning, Dale. How are you?
I'm doing good today.
Good. So I just have a couple questions for you. My first is, can you let our audience know how long you taught at McBain?
Taught for 32 years at McBain.
Wow. And then what did you teach?
7th and 8th grade math, 7th grade shop, trigonometry, physics, chemistry, calculus, couple of other electives here and there.
Mm-hmm. So I've heard some rumors that not only did you teach math, but your students also learned about the British royalty.
Yeah, that's kind of embarrassing at times. One, I get distracted easily, and I love history, I love geography, and every year there'd be 4, 5, 6 days through the year that we'd have a high absent rate for flu, or the band would be someplace, or there'd be some reason that there were students missing from the classroom, and I was going to have to repeat this lesson anyway. So I would just run through, depending on the length of time that there was going to be a shortage, who the kings and queens of England were, see if the kids could stump me on capitals of states or countries, that type of thing.
Yeah.
And I also get distracted easily. So it wasn't that hard for them to get me onto something if they wanted to. But I always enjoyed that, and I keep hearing that from kids, so that some of it must have sunk in someplace down the line. So.
That's fun. And then what brought you up to McBain?
Well, I taught 5 years in Mount Pleasant, taught physics down at Mount Pleasant High School.
Okay.
And we lost our oldest daughter to a brain tumor when she was 2.5. And my father-in-law grew up in this area, and he offered us his father's house, my wife's grandfather's house, if we wanted to move, and we were looking to kind of relocate. Memories were not good.
Yeah.
And I was lucky enough to find a job in McBain, and it's a good place to raise a family. It was a good move for us.
Yes. Okay. And then you said that you taught here for 32 years, right?
32 years.
So what has changed since then?
Everything. One, technology. I mean, the fact that we're sitting here having this interview is something that wouldn't have happened back then. The total school, kindergarten through high school, was 600 students, or 635, something like that. So it's grown. Things have gotten more detail-oriented. A rather humorous fact, when I started teaching, and this happened where I taught in Berkeley and in Mount Pleasant, and here when I started, my first instructions from the principal was, laws have changed. You cannot hit kids anymore. So don't leave any marks. And I always thought, well, that's a great expectation, you know.
Yeah. Also coming with like 32 years of teaching, what's your favorite memory?
Oh gosh. That would almost have to be divided into different types of favorite memories. In teaching itself, I would have students in the 7th or 8th grade. I would have them again in chemistry or physics or calculus or trigonometry, and watch that maturity, and then have them leave and become valuable members of society is extremely satisfying.
Mm-hmm.
Very satisfying. So it's not a memory, it's kind of a collective thing.
Mm-hmm.
On a personal basis, raising my family here, is very proud of how my boys turned out.
Mm-hmm.
But especially, my youngest daughter had cystic fibrosis, and she held the school record for high jump, pole vault, won the Cadillac News track meet twice, all while operating on 30% of her lung capacity. So I have to say that was very satisfying. And just the people I taught with. So it was a good staff. They put the kids first.
That's good. That is really good. And then what have you been doing since your retirement? Like hobbies, traveling, any other jobs?
Let's see, I've always enjoyed woodworking. While I was teaching in the summers, I probably worked on or built 19 different homes, wired or plumbed them. I like to wood carve, love to travel, been able to visit all 50 states, all provinces of Canada, Greenland, Iceland, 5 other countries in Europe. I mean, that's
really cool.
Just been a lot of fun. Gardening, just variety of things. Whole lot less fishing and hunting than I thought I would do, but I still enjoy doing those things.
Yeah. And then my last question for you, it's really like helpful for me. Next year I'm going to start studying math education. Is there any advice you could give me?
Well, study hard. Don't fall behind. If you run into some problems, find a tutor, ask the instructor, whatever it might be. When I was going through school, I had some very good advice given to me. When I was in the 8th grade, I asked, a teacher did what he's supposed to do in the 8th grade, what are you going to be, so that you've got a goal. And I told him I was going to be a history teacher just like him. And he said, are you good at anything else? I said, well, they say I'm good at math. And he said, be a math teacher. And when I got into math, I was having problems with a certain topic, and the instructor said, well, it's just like your physics class. It goes this way. I said, well, I've never had physics. Take physics. And it's just another math class. And math was easy, so I ended up with a minor in physics. And those were 2 real key pieces of advice. And the third piece of advice, not related to that necessarily, but when I started teaching in Mount Pleasant, the head of the chemistry department at the college called me in. And I was kind of wondering why. I didn't have his students. And he just said, no, you're teaching physics. He says, you do realize that 1 in 600 of your students will minor in physics. He says, so don't try to make physics professors out of them. Expose them to things. Pick what's important, teach that, but expose them to the rest and make the class fun. And that was great advice.
So, expose them. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
As an example of that, we had a neighboring school that had an excellent math teacher. And any student that graduated or got through his class could probably teach at any high school, and they just knew their stuff. And he would have 4 or 5 students. And when I was teaching, I would have 2 classes of 30 in McBain, and we were almost same size school. And I don't think I shorted them, but they enjoyed coming to class. They learned what they needed to learn.
That's important.
And they had success. Because one of the things that I found here when I first started, students would not take hard courses because they wanted to be the valedictorian. So, I can't take physics. I might not get my A, or I won't take trigonometry because I might not get my A. Well, that's sort of the wrong approach to learning.
Yeah, it is. All right. So, get them exposed, keep it fun, keep them coming.
That's right.
All right. Thank you. And thank you for coming in today and letting me ask you questions.
Well, I appreciate it. It's nice to be remembered at times. Most I get into the school anymore is watch my granddaughter play ball, and that's going to end next year. So, just enjoying seeing all the changes that have been made.
Yeah. Glad we could get you in here to see them.
Good. Appreciate it.
Sorry about that little delay.
All right, we are back, and it looks like we have a foul already. Only 31 seconds have passed. Foul's called on the number 3. I believe that's Haverkamp.
A shot was put up and good on NMC, 18-38.
But that second one was no good, even though they got the rebound, shot the 3, and that 3 was no good. Had no white jerseys rebounding, so it was a Rambler rebound. Ramblers setting up their offense once again. We've got the play is already underway. We have Rodenbaugh out at the side, gives it up to Cucci. To Haverkamp. Haverkamp picks up his dribble, gives it up to Hooker, who's looking around, finds Ealing. Ealing to Rodenbaugh. Making it work. We've got Haverkamp spin move down below. Yeah, that's an easy 2. As he was catching the ball in the air, he spun around and lost all of the defenders. Easy 2.
That's a really good move to do when you have a bunch of defenders on you.
Emmett Boss for 2, no good. A little bit of a follow-away shot. We've got Aiden Cucci just gonna go with it, coast to coast, no good. Rebounded, tipped out of, never mind, none of that was rebounded. That was tipped out of bounds by a Comet. Rodenbaugh gets the ball after handoff from Hooker to Cucci in the corner for 3. That 3 falls. Extending the lead once again.
43-18 with 6:14 left in the third.
Dazoo up for 2. No good. Rebounded by Ealing. Handoff to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh takes off down the court. Passes out to Cucci. Cucci sets up for another 3. Just short. Rebounded by Dazoo. Slows it down. Winkle down below. And Ealing was able to get a hand on that. Sent out of bounds by Winkle, though. That ball must really be hungry. It keeps ending up in that concession stand.
I feel like we should take a break just so the ball can have a chance to eat. I think it may have skipped out at its pregame meal.
Hooker for 3. Ooh, in and out. We got Winkle with that rebound. Bowden to Dazoo. Dazoo setting up a play, picks up his dribble by the half-court line, gives it up to Boss.
It's going to go out and hit one of the tables down there. I hope nothing expensive broke or anything in general break.
Looks like we have a Pepsi and a water down. Pepsi down, bro.
Pepsi, water, and a cup, maybe. I think we're all good.
I think we're good.
I think all the expensive stuff was missed.
Well, that inbound ended up way down by the other basket once again. We've got Bowden fighting with that ball a little bit.
Just a smidge?
Just a smidge. Gives it up to Boss. Gives it to Vilwalk. Winkle up for 2. Dunks it, kind of. Rodenbaugh pulls it back, sets up that offense. Slows the game down just a little. Aiden Cucci. Hooker into Rodenbaugh on the corner. Not really in, my bad. Haverkamp, Hooker in the corner. Hooker's going to take that 3. They leave him. He's going to take it. Rodenbaugh with a rebound. Spins around defenders, goes up for 2. Ooh, no good. Rebounded by Ealing. Ealing up for 2. And that one's good.
Wow, a lot of rebounds. A lot.
Put a body on a person.
45-20. 4:30 left in the third.
And we have a timeout for the Comets.
It's going to be 30 seconds, so we're going to stay here. And real quick, I'd like to thank the L&J Meat Market and their jerky and meat sticks for fueling the Rambler Review crew through these broadcasts. Now, what are your predictions for how the rest of this game will go?
Well, we see the Ramblers kind of pulling back their offense, trying to set stuff up, looking for wide open shots is really what they need, close shots, but not afraid to take the 3 when they need it. So I'm thinking we'll see a lot more of that. probably their game plan for the rest of it. They don't really need any more points, but they, like, you'll always take it if it's open.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Comet's really just trying to look on picking up the pressure, trying to pick off more passes, get their offenses going and being more successful as they go. So a little more rushing comes with that, I think. So we'll see if they're able to slow it down in their minds. And just like that, the Ramblers picked up the pressure, trapping Emmett Boss right on the sideline.
Foul or just out?
It was out.
Okay.
He went to try and pivot out, and his foot went over the line because he was that close.
I
and
got
that's
a
the
table
thing that
block in that whole view, so.
Yeah.
Bit of a table.
We got Haverkamp for 3. Tipped around. Ends up in Bowden's hands for the rebound. He's going to go. We're going to get a travel. He tried.
Back a bit and then kept trying to go, not realizing.
That he didn't have his dribble anymore.
Yeah, not realizing what he did at first, and that's kind of what happened.
Coochie to Ealing. Ealing dribbles around, passes up to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh gives it down low to Hooker. Hooker calling for it. He wants it. Goes up for 2. And, oh, they're going to get him out of bounds.
Ah.
A little confusing when he's pointing with a 1. I thought that was like a and 1 that they do. Thinking that I missed the first part of the motion. Nah, he was just pointing at the out of bounds line. Like, right there. That's where it happened.
Refs are so confusing sometimes.
Sometimes. Just got to pay attention. DeZoo. He's going to go to drive in. Stopped by Rodenbaugh. Gives it up to Carell. He's going to go up for 2. Blocked by Haverkamp. Gets that rebound. Gives it up to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh's going to go take it off. Passes down low to Coochie. Wide open for the 2. No good. Kind of got scared when he saw a defender coming at him. Hooker's going to go up for 2. No good. Gets his own rebound. Up for 2. And good.
Nice.
That's the thing. You can be so wide open, and you see that one defender coming off, and it kind of just makes that clock in your head rush just a
Oh, no. And then they pull it back in.
Foul is called.
It's called on us.
34, Ben Rodenbaugh. Wasn't quite on the right side of his defender. He was behind him and tries to reach around, ends up grabbing his arm instead of the ball.
Yeah, I seen that. That was...
Boss hands off to DeZoo, who's going to set up the Comet offense. Emmett Boss for 3, excuse me. Rebounded by Winkle. Winkle caught underneath the basket, tries to go up for 2, and
nice.
It's good. A little bit of a fall away shot there.
47-22 with 2:46 left in the third.
Rodenbaugh kicks it out to Haverkamp. Haverkamp's going to drive in the lane. Loses the ball. Ends up with Boss. Gives it up to DeZoo. A little bit of that rushing there is what we're seeing. They rush in and they just try to force things that aren't necessarily there, making mistakes as they go.
Yeah.
Attempted pass to Winkle was deflected. Ends up with Boss. Boss gives it to DeZoo. DeZoo's going to drive into the... He finds the open lane so fast. It's like 1 second the lane is just not clear, and the next it's like empty. And then there DeZoo goes, and he gets that easy too.
It's all about just keeping your eyes open, paying attention, make sure you know where everybody's at so you're able to see things like that.
Rodenbaugh just went to drive in, went up, and there was a couple arms in his way, so...
NMC getting...
Foul. Number 10, foul's called on number 10, DeZoo, his first team's first.
First shot's up and good.
Subs in for the Comets. We've got
30-3. That's going to be
Bowden and Pfluger. We have Boss and Winkle heading to the bench for a breather. Bowden passes to DeZoo. Blocked off Coochie's arm. Scramble for the ball. Ends up with Hooker. He's just going to take off. Passes out long to Rodenbaugh. Gives it up to Coochie. Coochie goes up for 2, and he's fouled on the way up. He will go to the line this time. Wow, he traveled a long ways. Was watching the ref for the call. Next thing I look over, and he's over. Coochie's over in the corner on the ground, and he shot from right in front of the rim. That's quite a ways to travel, so a little bit of other force was involved in that.
All of these high school players are fast. They'll get from point A to point B immediately.
First shot is no good. Second shot is also no good, but Ealing comes up with the rebound, and his rebound is good. Dazoo once again setting up that Comet offense. Pass is deflected by Ben Rodenbaugh. Rambler's really just doing a good job of sidestepping screens, getting around, deflecting passes, making it difficult for an offense to really get going with all those hindrances. Bowden's going to travel around. Pass is once again blocked, ends up way up in the air. Kuchi ends up with it. He's going to go up all the way, goes up for 2, no good. It is rebounded by Carell, gives it up to Dazoo. Dazoo once again driving up in the lane, goes up for 2. He gets fouled on the way. That was a hard hit. I could hear that through the headset.
Yeah, that was.
I could hear him hit the floor. That was ouch. But he's going to go to the line for 2. Foul was called on 22. That's Hooker, his first, team's third. Shot is up and good. Rodenbaugh gives it over to Kuchi. To Hooker, who gives it to Rodenbaugh in the corner. Rodenbaugh is going to bring it back up top. Spins around his defender, goes up. Passes it out to Hooker. Attempted pass was blocked that time by a Comet. Dazoo ends up with it, tries to go up for 2, loses his footing, ends up with Haverkamp. Haverkamp gives it up to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh's going to drive in that lane. Not quite all the way, make him think he's going to. Pulls it up at the free throw line and gets that 2.
53-25 with 30 left in the third. That was a lot of threes.
Mm-hmm.
And sorry, folks, for that little bit of yelling off camera. We're having a few difficulties.
Kluger goes and drives in after a lot of picking and rolling up top.
Foul on McBain.
Yep, they're going to get a block. It's called on Brett Ealing, his third, team's fourth. Once again, 4 team fouls with just a couple seconds on the clock is nothing really to sweat about. It's when you have 4 with like 2 minutes left where you're like, all right, don't foul anymore because that means shooting.
Yeah.
He hits his free throw.
28-53.
Rodenbaugh hands off to Kuchi, to Hooker, to Ealing, to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh for 3. 3's no good.
5 seconds.
Long, out of bounds.
With 2.7 seconds to spare.
This is going to be a catch and launch situation.
Yeah.
You're going to get maybe 1 dribble. Oh, they're doing the roll where if you roll it, clock doesn't start until you touch the ball. Ooh,
that was a little too high. A little too high. A little lower and would have been there.
A little too much on it. But yes, in that instance where if you roll the ball inbounds, the clock doesn't start until another person touches it.
Yeah.
So if you let it get a little way so you can get a little closer, you have a little bit more chance of hitting that shot.
All right. So. Real quick, so like I said earlier, for all the details on the Super Bowl squares and the Rambler Gear Store, head over to the McBain Boosters Facebook page. So don't wait, grab your squares, shop some gear, and support your student athletes all year round. We will see you right back after this break.
Here at Shepherd's Agency in downtown McBain, we are your local and trusted source for all your insurance needs. We truly appreciate our clients and we work hard to provide them with the best coverage at a fair price. If you're not already a client of ours, contact us and let us see what we can do for you. Call us at 231-825-2411. Stop in the office or visit us online at shepherdsagency.com.
All right, we are back. Score right now, 53-28. We got another 8 minutes of official game time. NMC, there's a chance.
These last 8 minutes always seem like an eternity. You can
Always.
say 8 minutes, but those last 2 seconds on the clock always last at least 5 to 10.
That's why I said official time.
Let's be honest here.
Yeah. Official time, 8 minutes. Reality, I don't know, another 25.
Comet ball right off the bat, and it's off his foot.
Ball back in the concession stands. Like, do we need to take a break for it to eat?
No, because it keeps going for the candy. That seems a little unhealthy for it. We don't need a sticky ball. Haverkamp to Hooker to Rodenbaugh. Gives it up to Coochie. To Hooker. Ramblers letting that offense just run through, not really looking for anything at the moment, just looking to wear the time off the clock. They have the points that they need. Never mind, Rodenbaugh's going to drive in that lane, loses the ball, ends up with Boss. To Bowden, wide open in the corner for 3. Three's no good, rebounded by Rodenbaugh.
Close.
Okay, this is one thing I've noticed throughout the game. Comets really don't have anybody inside to rebound, so it's only been green jerseys.
Yeah, they're all outside. And like I said earlier, they're always going threes. It's either too long or too short. Like, it's so close every time.
So really they only get one chance at an offense. They shoot the first shot, but then there's nobody inside to rebound it other than Ramblers. So they have that one shot, and that's it. Blair DeZoo drives into the lane, tipped around by Vilwalk, ends up with a rebound. He misses that shot. Hooker gets it up to Hooker to Rodenbaugh to Coochie for 2. Deja vu, bro. Except for this time it wasn't kneeling.
Yeah, if Ealing was in there, it would be pretty much the same exact play that we've seen 2 times already.
Deja vu. All right, we got DeZoo. Stolen by Rodenbaugh.
Wow, that was quick.
Rodenbaugh. Goes up for 2 and it's good, and 1.
No way.
That was, I don't know how that went in, actually. It kind of just looked like he tossed it
confused.
up in the air and it like rolled around the rim and went in. And
It sat up there, it rolled, sat there again. It's like, I guess I will. And just.
I mean, even Rodenbaugh looked surprised. He turned around and when he heard the and 1 call, he was like, whoa.
We got a whole new set of Ramblers going in. I think all but 1 right now.
Yep, and that would be the shooter, and it looks like we have somebody sitting sideline.
That's Little Rodenbaugh.
Yes, it is. And they'll come in if he makes it.
59-28 with 6:27 left in the game. Ooh.
Looks like Big Rodenbaugh gets a little bit more time on the court. Bowden.
Just until the next call.
And just like that, Little Rodenbaugh's coming in.
Would you look at that?
Out of bounds on a Rambler. We've got Corral going to take it out for them.
I think that may have been out on, I want to say Kaysen.
Might have been.
Either that or Big Rodenbaugh.
Passed into Bowden. Gives it to Corral. Over to Winkle. Pass is deflected. Ends up back with Corral. Passes long to Vilwalk. Vilwalk's going to drive in. Goes up for 2. His 2's no good. Rebounded by Hamilton. They're going to get a foul called.
22 on the arm.
On Winkle.
I didn't really see anything.
It's just a little bit of contact. It really is sometimes all it needs. And with the angle that ref was at, you couldn't really see the arms necessarily.
So when you just see the arm go over.
But you just see the contact.
Yeah. When you see the arm go over, you just got to assume at that point. Just take a guess.
Brunick's going to drive in. Kicks it out to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh sets up for the 3. 3 is no good. Gets his own rebound. Shoots the floater 2. Also no good. Gets that rebound. That shot's no good.
Wow.
They're going to get Hamilton with a foul.
Rebound after rebound after rebound after rebound.
I mean, yeah, they were tipped around a bit, but to get your own rebound that many times in a row is kind of impressive.
Absurd.
Usually doesn't happen. A couple other names are usually involved in that. We've got DeZoo. Really just dribbling around looking to set up that offense. It ends up with Winkle. Winkle's going to drive that lane.
28-59, 5:16 left in the game.
They're going to get Pollington with another foul. His feet are just not quite set when he goes in there.
Pollington is just having trouble staying up. He's went down quite a few times.
It's called. That's his 3rd, team 2nd. Ref going over to talk to Coatman. Coatman a little fired up that it wasn't called as a charge. We know that that's what Pollington's trying to draw, though. Like, he goes over there with his arms down instead of up like you normally would to try and defend a shot.
He's just trying to get something going for them.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the ref's starting to notice that, and that's probably what he's talking to Coach for. It's like, hey, I know what your guys are trying to do.
I mean, a charge is a charge. If your feet are set, then the charge is a charge. But it's the fact that his feet aren't set, that they're still moving. That's where the block comes from.
I feel like that's also where he just starts going down, though, because he gets hit and just...
Maloney, we've got Brunick up top, gives it over to Hamilton. Hamilton's open, but doesn't take that three. Goes over to Pollington. Rodenbaugh also open for the three, doesn't take it. Maloney to Pollington. To Hamilton, swings it over to Brunick. Down low to Pollington. Attempted save by Boss, passes it right to Pollington, who's open for two. I mean,
61-30.
it's just all part of the script.
All part of the script.
I'm just kidding, there's no script.
I hope.
Winkle loses the ball. Brunick ends up with it. Not really sure how that ball ended up where it did.
Not really sure how he stayed up on his feet.
Me either. Brunick tip past it to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh for the floater too, and it's good.
Some mysterious stuff's happening.
Mysterious.
63-30 with 4:15 left in the game.
Dazoo up for two. He was up there. I mean, if you can get your elbow up past Rodenbaugh's extended arms, I think you can jump pretty high. Pollington's three is no good, and we got Hamilton with the rebound, but they're going to get a foul on the shot. He's going to go to the line for two, I think.
If you can get your elbow above any of our players' hands, you can jump pretty high.
Yeah.
Lots of our players are just...
We're a pretty tall team this year.
Yeah, we are.
The foul is called on Boss. That's his third, team's third. First rebound, or free throw is no good. We got Pluger coming in for Vilwalk. No good. Rebounded by Brunick, though. Brunick takes the dribble, ends up losing it, ends up with Hamilton. Hamilton passes out to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh's going to drive in, goes up for the floater, too, and it's good.
Wow.
To get a offensive rebound on a free throw is pretty good, and to be able to pass it around that many times is also really good, and to get the two off of it.
We do have a really good pass game going on with us.
Smart passes, if there's even a risk of it being stolen, they don't normally take that risk.
Usually there's a risk of being stolen. They either just cut over somewhere else or they just shoot it.
Dazoo for three, no good. Rebounded by Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh goes down the court, passes to Maloney. Maloney gives it back to Rodenbaugh. Tipped away by Dazoo. Dazoo's going to go up for two. Two is good.
34-65.
3:10.
NMC making their way back up.
Pollington gives it up to Brunick. Rodenbaugh. Maloney. Maloney shoots the three. Foul on the shot, though. That'll be three.
Maloney shooting three.
These types of free throws always throw me off because it's always shooting two. So when they shoot three, I always end up stepping in the lane because I just think like,
it's
go.
either when it comes for me when it's announcing, it's either when they're shooting three or they're only shooting one. I get so confused thinking I missed a shot. It's always me thinking, or I must have missed a shot, or
Yeah.
I just didn't catch the call the right way. Always confuses me. First shot appeared to be up and good, 66-34 right now.
See, they did it too. They went in on the second shot. I was like,
We're
wait.
not the only ones confused.
You were just talking about thinking about it. You missed a shot. They all went in, and I'm like, wait a minute. Did I miss a free throw?
That's what I thought, because I was looking at the score, and I looked over. They're all going. I'm like, wait a second.
Hold up. Third free throw. No good. Rebounded by Hamilton. Gives it up to Rodenbaugh. To Pollington. Pollington over to Brunick. Gives it up to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh wide open for that three. Three is good.
69-34. 2:40 left in the game.
Dazoo gives it up to Boss. Boss gives it to Carell. A little bit of overplaying on the defense there. Carell's going to shoot the two.
Ooh.
No good. Rebounded. I don't know who that is.
Somebody new's out.
Number 15 is not on the varsity side.
Oh,
so
he's not?
Braylon Stahl? That's not Braylon Stahl.
Yeah, no, that's
Number 15.
a new player who we technically doesn't exist.
Not on my roster.
They're not on the roster. They don't exist. It's a figment of our imagination.
So we've just got Casper the Ghost in a Comet jersey.
Yep.
'Kay.
He's playing varsity basketball now.
Poor Casper.
Oh, well.
Free throws up and good.
39,
Pollington taking it up now.
35-69, 2:22 left in the game.
Franklin. Gives it to Guernsey. Guernsey loses ball, regains it, gives it over to Pollington.
It looks like Guernsey and Pollington were just trying to figure out who wants it. They sat there for a minute looking at each other.
Franklin to Maloney to Pollington. Gives it to Grayson. Grayson fighting for that ball. Goes up for 2.
Tries to go for his own
15
rebounds.
ends up with the rebound.
Grayson almost had his own for a minute.
Emmett Boss for the 3. No good. Rebounded by 15. He's going to get to go to the line again. Casper's shooting more free throws.
Who is this mystery kid? I hate when this happens. There's a player, but we don't have them on the rosters, and you're just like, who is this?
That's what happens with 5th quarter sometimes. They just give them a jersey and then forget to tell us who it is.
Yeah.
And the student sections are yelling.
They have been for a while now. Number 15 seems to be a good shooter. He's been making most of these free throws.
Subs in. We have Bowden and number 2, Venord.
He was in the JV game. He was playing super aggressive. So I wonder if we're going to see his defensive aggression back.
Over to Franklin. Gives it over to Hamilton, who gives it to Pollington. Pollington to Guernsey. Gives it to Maloney. Maloney gets the ball tipped away, but he's going to recover it. Gives it up to Pollington. Pollington calls out a play once again, tries to get it set up, gives it up to Franklin. To Hamilton. Hamilton gives it to Maloney. A little bit of a scuffle there. Lots going on. Gives it back to Pollington. Pollington is once again going to call out a play. Gives it to Guernsey. Gives it to Maloney. Less than a minute left. Hamilton to Franklin.
50 seconds.
Franklin's going to drive in. Passes to Guernsey. Guernsey up for 2. 2 is no good.
Just a minute ago when Maloney lost the ball, I was about to say it'd be an icing call as if this was hockey. But I also earlier thought that the Comets jersey was the Oilers jersey. So I think I should stop watching hockey before I do broadcasts from now on.
Call is called on Pollington.
39 seconds.
His 4th, team's 5th.
69 to 37. This is...
Free throw's good. Bowden shooting.
Looks like all of a sudden they're shooting a lot better now that the game's almost done. But again, you get like that last like little adrenaline boost because like, oh, the game's almost over. And you just get a little boost.
You jinxed him. Free throw's no good. Ooh, huge scuffle for the ball. Lots of bodies on
Wow.
the floor. Jump ball. Good job on that ref before it got a little too physical.
Yeah, that could have been.
It's going to be Rambler ball. And from here on out, I can see them really just passing it around, trying to get the clock to...
Control of the game, control of the clock.
Yep, Pollington's really just walking it up. Hands off to Maloney. To Hamilton. To Pollington.
Here's what you were talking about, just passing it around.
Guernsey.
Oh, no,
Guernsey's
gonna
going
go
to
for
pop
the
the 3.
Oh!
Guernsey fights for his own rebound. Ends up with Franklin.
So close.
Gives it to Pollington. Pollington's going to hold it. To Maloney. Gives it to Guernsey. They're really just trying to get Guernsey some points. Guernsey goes up for 2. Ooh, no good.
No.
Rebounded by Hamilton. Goes up for 2, and it's good.
Wow. That's going to be the end of the game,
And that's the end of
71
the
to
game.
38.
They were really just trying to get Grayson Guernsey that ball.
You can see Grayson at the end of the court. I'm open, I'm open, I'm open.
Well,
final score, 71-38.
Like we said, a fast game, really aggressive.
Yeah. One more time, I'd like to thank the L&J Meat Market and their meat sticks and their jerky for fueling the Rambler Review crew. That is all I have for you tonight. I'm Calix Austin, and I was joined by
Isabel Roosevelt.
Thank you to Reed McLain and Cole Engelwright for helping us with the broadcast tonight. And we will see you next time.